The first word that comes to my mind when thinking of creating spaces for transformational learning is intention. So much learning is transactional. We learn this to be able to do that. We learn that to be able to do this, and it's the acquisition of skills and the development of this, and it's very transactional. Transformational learning is very, very different. It has a quality of well, in my world, becoming better at being a human being, actually. We're actually transforming capacity so that we can live in more consonance, let's say, with our hearts, what we care about, what we love more directly. And so when I think of what it means to create a transformational learning space, the first thing that comes to my mind is intention. It's really wanting to learn about that, how to become better at being a human being. And notice I'm not saying how to become a better human being, because right away that adds almost like a moral kind of quality to it. And some people might consider this better and that better. And, they may not always agree on what better actually is. So when I say becoming better at being a human being, what that actually means to me is better at speaking from the heart, expressing love, kindness, generosity, things that encourage and support one another in very deep, real ways. Another way of thinking about that is ways that are not violent or violating of each other or the planet. So, transformational spaces, the other thing that comes to my mind is that we can encourage transformation through the kinds of spaces that we create. And in my world, those are spaces that are quiet, spaces that encourage slowing down, encourage change pattern. And what I mean by that, changing patterns that keep us moving so quickly in the world of transaction that we actually have to interrupt the pattern if we want to encourage transformation. It requires slowing down, noticing, feeling the impact on us of what we're experiencing, doing our very best to notice the impact we have as we walk through this earth, as we meet each other, and to see, am I frightening the person who's standing in front of me? Do they look frightened? Is there anything that I can do simply to ease the situation, to encourage more connection and contact between us? It's easy to fall into fear for all of us. So, those are examples of things that I think support um, the possibility for transformation. But intention is a very big part of that, because we can create the conditions for transformation, but if people aren't interested in stepping into them, then what? That's not you. It's not you will transform. We can't do that. So we can invite, we can encourage, we can model. And a simple thing to model is impact, noticing impact. Um, and actually there's a kind of inner learning that's going on as you model that kind of impact, because you're noticing and you're learning about the impact the other or the situation is having on you. And so there's a part of you that's engaged in learning as that's happening. And that's actually a discerning process. That's the process of slowing down and noticing. That automatically changes the field between you and the other, because there's a slowing down and noticing. There's a care with which you're noting your own experience and tending to it. And then on the other side of it is taking the time and the care to notice the impact you might be having on the other. Those are all qualities of caring. They come out of empathy, they come out of compassion, they come out of respect, they come out of sovereignty. And these are intentional acts, all of which I think contribute to the possibility of a transformational space. Now, of course, again, it comes down to the intention of wanting to transform and being open to the possibility of finding our ways to becoming better at being human beings. And partly what I mean by that is if we look at this idea of tracking impact and noticing impact in my worldview, that becoming a habit that I carry with me as I walk through life becomes a way that I've been transformed with this particular kind of capacity. Becoming better at being a human being, in other words, means to me walking with the awareness of the impact that I'm having as I walk, as well as taking note of the impact on me of what I'm experiencing, because often that can lead me to positive action